People in Georgia have also been ringing in the new year at protests in the capital, Tbilisi. There was a scene of relative calm outside the parliament following days of violence as security forces attacked demonstrators. The protests began at the end of November after the pro-Russian government halted talks on joining the European Union, even though the vast majority of Georgians support membership. DW's Anya Koch met two victims of the violence and a warning that some viewers may find this report upsetting.
Lazare Maklakelice is back at another pro-European protest outside Parliament, like almost every night. But his activism has had a price. At dawn on December 2nd, while leaving a protest, police arrested him and dragged him into an unmarked vehicle.
They have specially designated vans, which I would call mobile torture vehicles, which they have emptied out on the inside. All the windows are tainted dark, or they don't have windows at all.
Lazare says police repeatedly beat him in the face, in his stomach, with their fists and boots. For how long, he can't say, because he fainted several times.
During the whole process, you're getting threats of rape, getting raped with a police baton, police batons getting shoved up your ass. That's it, really. That's all the picture.
Lazare was hospitalized, diagnosed with a concussion and a broken nose. His whole family has also taken part in the demonstrations to support Lazare and all the others. Amnesty International has documented more than 300 cases of ill treatment or torture of Georgian protesters by police forces. We tried to reach the police to discuss the allegations, but no one was available for an interview, and written questions went unanswered. Guram Rogava works for the private Georgian TV channel Formula 1. But at the moment, he is only here for a visit. He too was attacked, and it was all caught on video. Guram was live on air when he was beaten from behind in the neck.
When I wake up, I saw that I was all in blood. I had really huge pain. I didn't understand why, because I didn't remember, I didn't see that someone was trying to hit me.
He suffered a skull fracture as well as a broken vertebra in his neck. Doctors say he narrowly escaped being paralyzed.
This is a message to us. If you continue your job, showing real picture, we can kill you, we can hit you, so be silent.
Guram Rogava will need 3 months of rehab to recover, but he is undeterred. He then plans to continue his job, reporting from the demonstrations.
Joined now by DW reporter Anya Koch, who filed that report. She joins us from the Georgian capital, Tbilisi. Anya, what's the latest in Georgia at the moment with the protesters?
Well, right at the moment, it's pretty quiet in Tbilisi. I suppose this is because people are still, sleeping and recovering from a long night of partying, but also demonstrating. Last night, between 9 and 10 p.m., people would start gathering in front of the parliament and, kind of ending or beginning the new year the way they ended the old one, with demonstrating, with showing their government that they are still not giving up and that they still want Georgia to join the European Union. The protest yesterday had a festive, creative mood. We saw artists, we saw DJs from legendary Tbilisi techno clubs playing gigs and, people dancing right in front of the parliament. People had set up a huge table, a table that was a couple of 100 meters long, resembling the so-called zupra, which is a Georgian traditional feast, something that people would have on a day like this. So people just sat down there and talked, wrote protest notes, and they were also joined by Zourabichvili, who is technically the former president of Georgia, but she's also a very strong supporter of Georgia's European integration, and by many demonstrators, she is seen as the only legitimate Georgian president. So she came there and, expressed her support for the demonstrations.
And at the moment, what's the government's strategy? Are they hoping that this sort of just wears out over time?
No, well, the government is actually working pretty actively against the demonstrations and the demonstrators. As we just heard, demonstrators are being arrested, they are being threatened, they are being beaten up by the police. Activists are being snatched off the street in broad daylight. They are being dragged into unmarked vehicles and then brought to the police station, often without being able to call a lawyer or to let the family know about their whereabouts. I have also talked to an election observer who has, reported about fraud and who told me that he was visited by the police at home, and when he was not there, then police would start asking his neighbors about his whereabouts. I also personally know Georgian fathers and mothers who told their kids living abroad, please do not come home this year over Christmas because we feel that this is too dangerous. And the government has just imposed new laws making it even harder for the demonstrators. It is now officially forbidden to wear masks or to, obscure your face. But this is, of course, something that the demonstrators use to protect themselves from the tear gas and the pepper spray. Nevertheless, those protests have been going on for 33 days straight.
And Anya, we've seen, obviously in the protests, there's been a lot of violence. Countries like Germany has issued entry bans against Georgians allegedly involved in this violence. And the EU has also terminated some programs in Georgia. But having said this, where are the demonstrators pinning their hopes in the aim of pressuring the current government?
Well, this is exactly what they are pinning their hope on. They are very focused on sanctions. They say, listen, we need this kind of help from abroad. You just mentioned the sanctions by the German government. The US government has just sanctioned last week Zourabichvili, who is the honorary chairman, but the de facto ruler here in Georgia. Things like this are very welcomed by the demonstrators, but people also tell me it's too little, too late.
Okay. DW reporter Anya Koch in the German capital Tbilisi, in the Georgian capital Tbilisi, rather. Thank you for that update.